Welcome collective, thank you for joining me today for today's energetic update video. I've just completely unraveled as I upload a video for you all with Michael Jackson's Energy, a fractal of, because I feel like I've just been getting to such a raw expression within myself again, and I've very much been on the precipice of stepping into a whole different fabric of reality than I've ever experienced before, which has meant there has been a massive collapsing of my psyche, myself and soul yet again on this pathway and on this journey, everyone. Believe me, I was just as surprised as you are. So I've really just been having to really sit with myself and my shadow and my soul and truly ask myself some real difficult questions as to where I find myself right now, and to take a look back on everything that I have been through, everything that has culminated to this pathway, this journey for me, and to truly understand and see that there was no other way for me to be existing in this life path and in this journey. And I'm sharing this because I think there are many in this collective that have been questioning the reasons as to why you are here and the things that you have been wanting to create. And I shared this over on my Instagram today, and this idea of the 5 years ago, when I very much started to try and tap into these other realms, these other expressions, I did two very separate and different mediumship courses. And in both of those classes, I was essentially the dunce in the class. And I just thought, maybe this pathway isn't for me. Maybe the signs that I've been given aren't for me. Maybe this just isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. I wasn't receiving the same receptivity that others were receiving in their expression. And I thought, okay, things might not have gone to plan. This might not have been you do a course and then you know everything as I was expecting it to go. But something within me just continued to tell me to push forward. And at that time, I had the most insane, I want to say, storyline going on at this moment in time with regards to my awakening path. And I just thought, there is a lot of things that I cannot clarify, but I know in my heart that there is something going on that I just can't quite explain, but in my heart it feels real and true. And I've always known for the entirety of my life, if I feel something in my heart, then it is my truth. It is my truth somewhere. And whether this is someone else's truth, that's a completely different story, a different reality, a different expression. I'm now wise enough and strong enough and of the highest vibration enough to understand that complex narrative too. But I know that if I feel something in my heart, then that has to be my personal truth. So I'm sharing this to those that perhaps want to give up right now. Perhaps you're thinking, this isn't for me. Perhaps this isn't my path, although you've been receiving all the signs to get you to this point. And how many times have you all heard me say that, I can't do this anymore. I've wanted to give up, and I've had to take a pause. I've had to step away. I've had to make sure that I really was looking after my physical vessel as well as my mental mind when stepping forward in these aspects, because you are shattering fabrics of reality, but you are also shattering consciousness. And I've been in that deep and dark expression again over the past few days, and it's been a long while since I've been in the depths of that. It's like having a dark night of the soul again. And I thought, wow, it's been a real long time since I've been in that very fresh expression of what that felt like when I very first started to wake up. And I thought, everything feels like it's all collapsing in on itself all at once. And you start to be able to see and vision things, at least in my perspective, that you haven't witnessed before. But at the same time of that, there is this absolutely soul crushing energy that steps forward, where you feel like every aspect of your life that you once living is now slipping away from you. And you feel empty. So I've been this empty vessel that has just been swirling in all of this cosmic source and just thinking, yeah, how did I do the last 5 years? Because, when I started this pathway, I didn't have anything else to corroborate my story. I didn't even know it was a spiritual awakening I was going through. I thought I was sick. I thought I was ill. And, if I hadn't have continued to listen to me and myself alone, I wouldn't be where I am today. And granted, some things haven't gone to plan. Some things don't look exactly how I would like them to at this present given moment in time. But I've experienced things that some can only potentially dream about in lifetimes. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. And I'm so incredibly grateful for every single soul that I've met on this pathway and on this journey that have supported me, that I've supported them, because it is very much a back and forth. It is a symbiotic relationship. Any soul that steps towards me, I'm receiving something from them too, and I share that with them. And I'm eternally grateful for everyone that is here in this community. You have completely changed my life. You completely shaped my fabric of reality, and I know that that's what we've been doing together. So I want to say to you, if there is something that is a fire burning within your heart, it is there for a reason. You can pause, you can stop, you can say, okay, I need to take a break from this, but please don't believe that it's not yours, because if it's in your heart, it's supposed to be with you some way, somehow, and you will find your way of creating that space for you. And granted, how I thought my pathway was going to look has changed time and time and time again. And the other day, no, in fact, it was yesterday, I sat and I thought about what I wanted to share with the collective. And I wanted to explain what it feels like when there is just a fire burning within your heart that you cannot ignore. I have completely walked away from anything that I once knew that I thought was life. I have said no. I've closed so many doors on things that I completely loved and adored, and I've had to say no because I knew that in my heart what I was reaching for had to be for me and for me alone. And it's difficult to try and put that into words, but when you are asked, would you step away from everything that you have to create that something in your heart, and you say yes to that, something happens, something switches within your pathway, within your reality, that allows for you to truly understand you. I had to say no to others so that I could truly come back to myself. And I haven't lost everything. There are still many, many souls and many, many expressions in my life, that are still here and supporting me. But I had to be willing to give it all up, to say no to everything that I once loved, to be able to show myself just how much I do want to create the things that I know in my heart I'm here to create. It was there to prove to me that this was my pathway, this was always going to be my journey, but I had to prove that to myself. So this is to those souls that have been thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but something in me that others cannot understand is just swirling around me. Listen to that fire burning. Listen to that swirling. Keep coming back to you. And at times in this pathway, I didn't have my teams of light in my ear to share what they do with me. And I promise you, and no one, I think people don't believe me when I say this, but I promise you, I wouldn't lie at this point in my journey. I haven't been lying, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't lie. I can't lie. It's very obvious if I'm lying. I wouldn't be able to share exactly what it's truly meant for me, and how much of a cosmic joke it's been that I have shared so many more messages for other people in the times when they've needed it most that I haven't received myself. Teams of light are very quiet when I have to make a decision, and it's only in the past few weeks that I've started to truly understand why that has been the case. And because they know me and they know my soul, and they know that if they were to step forward and to give me something and tell me that was the pathway, I would completely run in the other direction. There is something about my soul that likes to jump in head first and just completely go for something. And to me, it's strange because I feel like I hold a lot of fear around a lot of things, but my soul just seems to want to run and leap at expanse. And there is no stopping me. Nothing can stop me. No one can tell me no. No one can stop me. No one can hold me back. Teams of light, sometimes are like, okay, we really have to put breakers on you here because there are things that you have to go back and you have to learn at deeper capacity. And, I find that I struggle, but this idea of expanse just comes so naturally to me. This idea of alchemy now comes so naturally to me. If I see a problem, I want to run head first at it, and I want to just understand it, figure it out, and work through it. And I'm now starting to see what a gift that is. So I say to you, if there is a fire burning within you and it makes you feel this passionate when you speak about it, it is for you. And that's a telltale sign. If you get quite emotional about what you're trying to create, if you get quite animated in when you speak, those are things that you are passionate about. And if you feel like you've lost that fire, sometimes on this pathway you've lived a long, hard, arduous expression of trying to delve deeper into soul, into shadow work, and it becomes flat and boring and you're done with it. Believe me, I've been there. So come back to the things that you feel passionate about, but also don't be surprised if teams of light send you something to trigger that passion too. And now looking back on my pathway, do I see that things have been sent to infuriate me to continue on this path? And it works. It annoyingly works. So that I feel like that's going to be a continuation. But just know that if you feel so strongly about something, it's because it's supposed to be for you. And don't hold back in that expression, please. Good of all, harm to none. But trust in that. And so many times on this pathway, every single person that I've ever loved and cared about has told me to not do this, to not step forward, to not continue. And I've just had to say no, respectfully and politely, and say, I understand your fears. I understand where you're coming from. I hear you. I appreciate you, but also know that I just need your love and support, and I'm going to figure this out. And slowly, slowly, but also surely, have things started to come back around and into light. And I'm the most clear in my expression that I've ever been on this life path to date right now. And I couldn't be more grateful, because there were so many times on this pathway, I just kept saying and seeing nothing. I was like, I don't understand exactly what's going on, but I will continue to step forward. And you can go back and witness me completely fall apart at the seams time and time and time again. But each time that was happening, each time my soul was getting stronger, the light within my soul was getting stronger, the feet beneath me were getting stronger. I now have a foot completely here in this paradigm of reality, of 3D, but then also of 5D and above. I'm completely 2 feet down. And it wasn't until today that Teams of Light allowed for me to truly see that. And I said for some time, I feel like there is a new amount of stable that I've been able to reach. And that stability isn't leaving me, but it's taken me all of this time. And, you know, I'm not going to say 5 years, because it wasn't just the 5 years that I've been on this expansive, rapid path for. It's been the entirety of my life that I've been slowly waking up. And it's actually been through more conversations with Michael Jackson's Fractal of Energy that I've started to see these full circle moments in my life and different aspects of being a child and a teenager. I've been very much in the realms of inner child healing again, inner teenager healing again. Oh my gosh, inner teenager healing. I just wasn't ready for it. It was a whole different realm of sacred rage that I didn't even know that I was experiencing as a teenager at that time. But at that cusp of me becoming a teenager, that's when this negative reptilian energy also met my expression. So I kind of crumpled in on myself. So then this teenage rage had to make itself known in the past few months. That has very much been present, and it has taught me so much. It has taught me so much to understand sacred rage to the depths that I've now understood it. And I think that that is a fire that will continue to fuel me when I feel like there is not much left in the tank. So that's a nice little hack for you. If you want to step into having more fuel, step into sacred rage about the truths of this world. This will always ignite something within you to keep going. And Teams of Light, you know, have given me this. And, you know, along this pathway, there's been souls that have stepped forward that I've just thought, I don't know if I'm ready to step back into disclosure to the degrees that I have been. And every time a new soul stepped forward, I just thought, oh my gosh, am I doing this? Is this real or true? Am I doing this? But there was something within me that was telling me that this was my pathway, this was my journey. And there was a light within me that just said, I know, I know, I'm terrified, but I know that this is my path. So this is me encouraging you to do the thing that you know in your heart and soul that is burning. It is a fire that once it's lit, there is nothing that anyone can do to put it out. They might try, they might halt you for a time, they might try and take that light from you, but they can't, because it's yours. So don't give in to the fear. Specifically those that might feel like they're under attack, I'm going to leave a meditation to help you through that expression in the description below. But know that your light can never, ever be put out. It is your soul, and it will continue to shine. But I think that best be all for me today. Sorry if this has been a ramble, everyone. I feel like I've just been completely falling apart at the seams. So I'm showing up in my rawest expression with you all, but I hope there's been some wealth of knowledge here for you all today too. But please do not hesitate to reach out if you would like to be working with me in these rambles together, in these expressions of crazy frantic energy somewhere together. But there is still this wealth of bed of layers of knowledge and sacred understanding that are ever stepping and present too. So make sure that you have 2 feet on the ground, head in the clouds, looking after your mental mind, your physical body, and also your emotional and spiritual essence. But I'll be back again when it feels aligned. Take care for now.